Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Carnage Unleashed. I am not Wade. Do not adjust your sets. We are short-handed this episode, but it's going to be a fun one nonetheless. I am Kev, of course, with me, the boss man, Zach Dominique. Zach, how we doing today, brother?
We're doing fantastic. A little muggy today. I don't know if you've been outside, but just a tad bit muggy out there. Mike, you have to deal with any of this mugginess up where you're at?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I work in maintenance in the warehouse, and it's it gets a little sweaty back there. So
I know what you're talking about.
Man, I do not. Though I have fond memories from those days, but July and August were never part of them. I feel your guys' pain. You got people fighting over the giant human-sized fans. You know, there's like one, and each side is fighting for it. Like, dude, you've had it for the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sure.
Yeah, it's feeling a little too much like Florida in my neck of the woods with all the rain too. But we are not here, though we could all make for decent weathermen, I think. We're not here to talk too much about the weather. We've got Mike Russell, the Mycopath, with us tonight to talk with him about his upcoming bout on our July 26th card. We're also going to be talking with Ricky Stanley later in the show. So if you're watching live right now, if you have questions for Mike, I will be keeping an eye on the chat. We'll get your questions up. We'll get your questions asked. And any feedback that you have, any thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. So, Zach, I will let you start things off with us here. But I guess the final thing I'll say before we dive in is thank you, Mike, for being here. We appreciate you. It's been a minute. I'm very excited to talk with you again and catch up.
Yes. Yeah. The last time we saw you was for your matchup against Lino. So between then and now, because that was a whole different sport. That was kickboxing. So now you're going over into boxing. So what have you been doing in the meantime, training-wise, lifestyle-wise? Any changes that you've done?
Just lifestyle-wise, just being smarter, getting away from stupid stuff, eating a little healthier. I was actually a few months back, I was getting a little heavy, and I was like, yeah, it's time to get in shape. So just kind of started getting in shape and started getting back in the gym and working with my buddy Joey Hertzellers and doing some of his classes. He does some really good classes and just running a lot. And there's actually a park right down the road, Wildwood, where I run a few miles, and they have a heavy bag and a little workout area, and I hit the heavy bag, and I'm obviously barehanded because I'm just running, so I'm not like, running with my boxing gloves. That'd be silly. But so it's kind of nice because it's a real heavy bag and it's hard. So just been working on technique. Like, you can't be hitting a hard heavy bag barehanded stupidly. You know what I mean? You'll hurt yourself. So it's been really helpful with the technique. And my whole thing is I run a few miles to it. And getting there is a lot of uphill, and then I try not to take any of a break. We go right to the bag, hit it for a few rounds, and then try not to take any of a break and just get back to running a few more miles. It's kind of been my core routine, but working with Joey and then getting in with Demolition a little bit, got in with them last Thursday and had some hard sparring rounds, and just eating healthier and, cutting out some of the bad things and just being smarter.
Good, yeah. What? And I know, because if you don't swing right, you can bust up your ankles, your wrists on those heavy bags, especially those really. I would probably break an ankle somehow. I'd find a way. So
you just went kickboxing right away. I love it. No, that is. I'm glad we went there first, actually, because Mike, I've seen just a couple of times. I'm not super active on social media, but I've seen a couple posts. I think you're talking about getting some work put in and running, and so now I have this more. It's like a Rocky-esque montage. He's out running and then hitting the heavy bag barehanded. I assume, if there was a freezer full of meat nearby, that'd be on the table. All we're missing in this heat, you won't be able to lift any logs in the snow, but maybe we can get you booked for January.
It's funny you say that, because there's been a couple of the hot days. Like, there was a day at work, the one day it was like 90 some degrees. Everyone's like, man, this is terrible. I was like, I'm going to go run 5 miles in a hoodie and some pants. And it was like 98 degrees and humid. And the one guy's like, you ain't about that. The other guy was like, oh, he's about that. And I was like, I'm about that. And I went out to the park and wore some layers and ran, and it wasn't all that bad, honestly. But I don't know. I like kind of put myself in the fire like that a little bit. You know what I mean? It kind of helps mentally. And then also, Zach, them lights aren't very cooling in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's kind of hot in there. So I feel like it's a good conditioning aspect. You get on layers in 98-degree weather. It's like once you're in that ring or that cage, those lights aren't going to be as bad. So that's kind of my thought process anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
it makes sense. I mean, you can never have too much cardio, right? As long as you're not running miles the day of, you never
no.
have too much gas in the tank when it comes to this. I feel like that's probably an area where you're safe to maybe lean towards even trying to overdo it, where it's like, yeah, if I do nothing else today, I'm going to get my cardio in, because
Yep.
that's man, I have no experience here, but I've seen it. I've seen what happens when guys get gassed out late in rounds. So it's incredibly valuable.
Well,
Sure.
with that, you're working on that good cardio here. Were you working on that punch cardio as well? Because you might have all the cardio for days, but if your arms tire out, what are you gonna do? So you've been working on that?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I go and hit the heavy bag, and I hit that a lot. And I've just been kind of doing some things with some light dumbbells and whatnot. And I had a good test last Thursday, sparring down at Demolition. I went 9 rounds and felt like I could have gone longer and felt really good. And I didn't really get tired in any of those. So, like I said, I wanted to go more. I didn't feel like that was quite enough. So, yeah.
That's when you're having a good training camp, when you're sparring and you're like, I don't want to stop, and coach is like, you need to stop. You're like, no, I'm in the zone. I'm feeling really good. I don't want to stop. Why are you making me stop? And they're like, get out.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, that was a good feeling. So
that's good. That's good. So you have 3 fights of experience with boxing, pro boxing here. So out of those 3, what was your most memorable moment or time between those 3 fights?
I mean, the pro debut in Cleveland against Razimian Ford was cool just because it was the pro debut, which shout out to him. He's good. He's a really good boxer out of Ohio as well. But my most memorable was going down to Ashton, Kentucky. I fought a guy, Boz. Shout out to him. He's a really tough guy. He's from the Russian area anyways. And I think Kazakhstan, correct. I could be wrong. I believe that's correct. But went down and fought him and took it on short notice, cut a bunch of weight. And the first round I did really well. I feel like I actually probably won that first round in my mind anyway. That's how I felt. And then after that first round, though, I told my coach, Mike Widmer, shout out to Mike Widmer. I was like, I don't have much left, man. Like, I took this on short notice. He's like, well, just throw everything at him. Like, throw the kitchen sink at him. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So went out there and I just threw everything at him, and he dodged a few, but there was quite a few shots I landed just clean right on him, and and then came right after me. And I was like, oh, crap. I just kind of took a deep breath, tried protecting myself, and he caught me with a body shot, and I was done. But it was just funny to me because it felt like the Russian stereotype held true. Like, I just cracked him hard a few times, and he just ate it like it was nothing and just walked right towards me. And I was like, oh, all right.
So you've already had your Rocky IV moment. So there
yeah. Well, my Rocky IV moment didn't work out well for me, but.
So is that something that you're expecting from your opponent, Ricky, coming forward, that he's going to have that Russian mentality, that want to get punched in the face, just keep on coming forward kind of thing?
I mean, I expect everything from him, but he's also a lot taller than me. So that's, I think, my biggest focus is just his length, his size. I got to really consider that and try to, get in my range when I can, but not let him just kind of keep me away from him and pick me apart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So is that kind of your game plan going forward, since you're fighting Ricky? It's like, okay, he's taller, So I need to be working on my inside game. So you've been, working on getting on the inside, working, and then shooting on the outside.
Yes, absolutely. I've been trying to work on my footwork and trying to be a little explosive with it, and smart with it. With the running, like I'll be running and then I'll go to the heavy bag, and I don't just stand there and hit the bag. Like I've been trying to use my footwork and move around and jump in and out, against the heavy bag and throwing shots with it. Like that's kind of been a real big focus. And then Joey Hertzellers, his classes are great. Like that's helped my arm cardio as well, because his drills are really good, and there's just a lot of different movements and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of footwork and a lot of movement. That's kind of been one of the big focuses.
Yeah, that's always the main focus is that footwork, especially in boxing. It's the most important thing, because it can put you in a great position, or it can put you in a bad position. So
Absolutely.
Been in those bad positions before. They're not fun when you take the straight right hand right down the middle. It's not fun.
Yeah, and honestly, I will say it's been nice focusing on my boxing footwork, because all of my pro boxing matches, they've been on short notice, and I haven't really been able to like focus on boxing footwork, because, as you know, it may, to the naked eye, to people who aren't like as trained, it doesn't look that different, but boxing footwork and MMA footwork is totally different. So it's been nice kind of being able to focus on the boxing footwork and the boxing stances and, that stuff. That's been kind of fun, honestly.
Yeah, because you've got two different stances, let's be honest. So MMA stance and a boxing stance. Boxing stance is more squared because you don't have to worry about kicks.
Exactly.
And so, you're normally cockeyed when you're doing MMA, so you get that leg up and block. So completely different stances. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from of having that extra time to actually have a training camp.
Yeah.
Probably fantastic for once, right?
Yeah. It's been nice. Like it's that wider stance. Like my pro debut in boxing, it was funny because his wide stance and his leg was right in front of me, and I just looked down at it. I was like, "Ooh, oh nope, I can't kick it." And then you know what I mean? It was like that slight hesitation because I had to like stop myself because it was so appetizing just to kick his leg, but I'm like, "Oh wait, I can't do that." Like so.
We've seen that a few times in the amateur ranks, like really, really early on. I think, Zach, when you've got some young MMA guys just looking to get some stand-up work, so they're doing some amateur boxing. Sometimes you see that resist to shoot for a takedown, where it's like, hey, we can't do that.
I think we've seen people actually go for a takedown in one of our boxing things that we recorded.
I think we have. Check the tapes, folks. Carnage Media YouTube channel right after the show. Free fights every night right here. Sorry, guys.
Gotta plug.
I can't plug. That's part of the job. But so I know we've talked a lot about X's and O's for the most part, Mike. But with this return to pro boxing and doing this, like, what does I was gonna say next Friday, it's next Saturday, right? July the 26th. What does July the 26th fight mean to you? Like, what is this about? Because you're doing it in a bit of, you're doing it in a very determined way. You're running a bunch of miles. You've got your individual coach, but you're also going out to Demolition to get some work in with those guys. Like, you're doing a lot to prepare for this. What does it all mean to you? What is it all about?
It's just about enjoying it. I'm getting older. I don't have a whole lot more time and a lot more fights in me. So just means a lot to just enjoy it and do it again and just embrace it while I'm able to do it. That's kind of the main focus here, is just enjoying it while I can. And yeah, just doing the best I can at the end of this and just enjoying it. That's really the main thing.
Will it be a little extra enjoyment with it being in Findlay? I know a lot of the Demolition guys. I know Demolition itself is there, so that on its own will make it a little bit of a hometown event for you. Does that add to the excitement level?
Yeah, honestly, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, a lot of my last fights have been in Kentucky and Dearborn, Michigan, and Michigan City, Indiana, and out in Cleveland, and not anywhere near home. So it's been quite a while since I've been this close to home. And most of my fights have just kind of been by myself. I haven't really been with teammates. couple times down in Kentucky. My last amateur MMA fights, Ferreris and Grant and Jaden were on those cards, and that was awesome. But I mean, that was 2019, so yeah, it's been a while since I've had some teammates on a card and been close to home, and yeah, that'll definitely be pretty awesome.
Got any special? You don't have to spoil it. You don't have to tell me, but you got any special walkout ideas? I've been asking everybody this for at least any of the closer to home guys. You got anything special cooked up for your walkout?
Nothing special, but I already put out my song, NF Intro 3. I put it out there on Facebook. It's just kind of creepy at the beginning and intense, and I've been knocked a lot in my fighting career for being a little too friendly at first and not letting my path out until, later in the fight. And I think that song kind of brings Michael Path out right away. So kind of excited about that.
Nice. Well, now I'm tempted to go listen to it, but part of me wants to wait.
NF Intro 3. Sorry, I have to kind of change this up because my phone is not charging. I think it's kind of overheating. So
hey, no worries. That's what I'm here for. I can fill some time.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't really need to fill time. Well, my phone's overheating, so it's going to be hard to charge. So I might fade out here at some point in this interview. So my apologies if that happens. The phone is dying. So
and falling.
It's overheating, so it's not really wanting to charge. So my apologies.
Well, no, you're all right.
You're all good, brother.
So you're talking about how you're starting to get older, and you want to get these fights in and stuff like that. What do you kind of see after this? So you take this fight, win, lose, draw, whatever. Do you have a plan for each one, or do you just have a plan like this is what I'm going to do for the rest of the year, maybe for the next 2 years? Have you thought of that at all?
I want to fight as long as I can. I want to get another MMA fight in. I want to box a few more times, and honestly, I just kind of want to keep going until my body starts to really tell me no. So I'm kind of just doing this as long as I can. It makes me happy. I enjoy it, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna drive until the wheels fall off. So
there we go. It's the love of the game, right?
Yep. My phone might die before we get to the Ricky Blue part. I apologize.
No, that's fine. If it happens, it happens. We'll keep talking to you until you fade away. How about that?
Okay. Well, it's gonna happen soon. So.
Yeah, I was like, I think Zach, we might be at that moment. Is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I'm at 1%. So my apologies. Oh crap.
And I think we just lost them. So, but that's okay. That's all right.
If he makes it back, I will bring him back. I'll keep an eye on the stage for you, gang.
Okay.
But if he doesn't make it back, thank you, Mike. Good talking with him. I wish we would have had a little bit more time with him, but hopefully we'll get to talk with him again. And you can check out the last time he was on an interview. It was one of the more intense interviews I think that we've had. So
it was great.
This one's been a change of pace. So are we ready, Zach? Do you want me to bring Ricky Blue on right now?
Yeah, let's bring Ricky on.
All right, here we go. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Ricky? Or should I say Ricky Blue? I always want to call you Ricky when it's Ricky Blue, and I apologize for that.
Whichever one fits you better.
Well, jumping right into things. So your pro boxing debut, how excited are you? Because I know we've talked before, not on camera like this, but we've talked before. I remember you saying how excited you were to get to this point in your career, and it's nice to see you've grown. I want to know what your thoughts are of finally making it to this point.
Man, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, a goal of mine, a dream of mine. It feels surreal, like I'm not even here. Honestly. But I'm excited. I feel ready. I don't feel like I feel amazing. It's a very emotional process too.
No, I can understand that. Yeah. So with this being your pro debut, you said you're excited, you're exhilarated, dream come true. So what has that done to help fuel you for this training camp?
Man, really knowing that's my pro debut, knowing that you get a whole different set of rules, a whole different set of a way our fight camp's different. I'm going extra rounds. I'm going extra rounds in there, running longer. Coach Diamond, everybody knows her. She's making me stay after hours at the gym. So just to be for sure, you know what I mean? So really, it's all there, and it's just all momentum pushing forward.
Right on. Okay. So what has been, since this has been your first experience, everything's a first now, right? It's not like it's kind of like the first time you're getting ready to jump in there as an amateur, but it's a little bit different. Stakes are a little bit higher. So what has been, it's a two-part question here. What's been the most exciting thing during this training camp for you, getting ready for this?
The most exciting thing, really, the most exciting thing for me is everybody that support me and my team in the gym, and how they uplift me and push me. You know what I'm saying? If coach needs a minute off with me over there, because for this debut, you know what I'm saying, they're pushing her away for me. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that, just excited to get in their smaller gloves. I feel fast now. That's only going to be faster. So.
All right. Heck yeah. Okay. So, and then with that being said too, what have you learned the most through this training camp? Since it's going a little bit different, you're not wearing headgear. That's really the only big difference is you're not really wearing headgear. Let's be honest, from amateur to pro, other than the times. What is it during this training camp that you've learned the most out of?
Really being conservative, calmness. When you see a pro boxer get in the ring, you don't see them all agitated, all up. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's that. And it's just the process of everything that I couldn't do in the amateurs, like posting up. That's there. That I'm able to use that now. You know what I'm saying? So different just situations like that is where it comes into play for me.
We've got some love for you in the comment section here, Ricky. Luke Joels.
Oh, there it is. What up, Luke?
And Sailor, or Sailor's husband, I should say. So there we go. All right. Thank you, guys. If you got any questions, fire them away in the chat. I'm going to keep my eyes out.
Man, don't be letting them ask nothing, but they'll be asking crazy stuff.
Oh, well, I'll keep. Okay. Thank you for the warning. I'll look before I click on that. So, well, you've talked about the differences, right, coming into this, the no headgear, smaller gloves, all of your strikes are going to count. You don't have to worry about that little box and have to worry about any of that stuff.
Nope.
So this with this switch going for you, like, what is the plan? You got your pro debut, and I'm sure there's a part of it that's like, hey, first things first, but I also probably, this has been a long time, a goal you've been chasing for a long time. What are you looking to do? Let's say everything goes exactly to plan. You go out there, you get your win on July the 26th. What's the big picture like for you?
The big picture after is my coach calling me and telling me when the next fight is and where we're going after that and where it's going to be at. This fight is my pro debut. This is going to mean the world to me in the next 5 years. It means the world to me now. But this is in my way right now. I'm going to hold my gloves until the day I die for my pro debut, all that crazy stuff. But really, this is where I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? So.
Another day at the office, right? This is that's a great mentality to have, I think. Zach, you would have to jump in here for me. I don't know. I just talk about it. I don't know what it's like to get in there.
It's exhilarating. It's fun. It's fun to get in there because it's versus someone else. It's your wit versus somebody else. It's
mano y mano.
Exactly. No one else is in there to help you. You can listen to advice, but ultimately it's your choice. So it's a fun time in there. So I'm a little envious because nothing's
is
like
why
the
I
first
tell-
time like that.
No, and I tell any of the other guys in my gym or anything like that, when you go out there, you're fighting on a card. When you're watching them other fights, your fight ain't gonna go how none of them other fights goes. You fight how you want to fight. You fight your fight. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get in there, you see, the fight before you, a couple fights before you, fighting this way or fighting that way. Automatically in your head, you think, I got to go in there and I got to fight this certain type of way. No, you do you.
I've got a question. Are you a baiter? Like, do you like to play mind games with your opponents when you're in there? Because
yes.
to me, that's right there is fun, because when you set a trap and you finally catch him in that trap, there's nothing. That's just such a great feeling. I love that.
Yes.
So is that something we can?
Taking me back towards the ropes. Let me step back towards the ropes. Let me take a step back into the corner, and that's all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2 side step, another 2 left hook out of there, spin around. So.
Heck yeah. So I guess that we could be seeing that next Saturday then. So I'm excited to be able to see that.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's not going to give us too much now. Come on.
Maybe.
So with this being your pro debut, and then your opponent has three bouts underneath his belt already, so he's got some experience already fighting, at least as a boxer. Plus, he's done kickboxing and MMA, so he's got some experience all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts coming into this as the newbie against somewhat, I guess I wouldn't really say a veteran, but someone who's got more experience than you?
Well, I respect Mike for taking that fight. I think Mike's the man. Mike's the man for it. You know what I'm saying? He's been there. He's done it. So he's been in the cage. He's been in the ring. So, but how I'm looking at it, I've been training. I've been fighting 4 to 5 years now. I'm up and coming. You ever heard that saying? The lion climbing the hill is hungrier than the lion at the top of the hill.
Yep. Okay. All right.
I ain't saying there's not going to be no fight. I ain't saying there's not going to be no fight now.
But you're hungrier. So I like that. You got to have that mentality going, especially in the fight game. You need to have that mentality, because if you don't, you're going to be the one that gets eaten up.
There you go. You said the best.
So what has been something? So your coach Diamond Long, what has she been doing to get you ready for this? Like what? Well, let's put it this way. Let's do 2 things here. What's been your favorite thing she's done during this training camp, and what's the least favorite thing she's done? Let's put your coach on blast a little bit here. All right,
man. I don't even know where to get started, because it's a love-hate thing. Now walking into the gym, automatic walking into the gym, warm up, automatic 4 rounds on the jump rope, 8 to 10 rounds on the heavy bag, automatic before you even do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going on your run. You're going on to at least a 1.5 mile, 2 mile run, coming back. Then you're starting your camp. Then you're starting your workout. So really, the thing I think I hate most about it all is probably the sprints at the end of practice. Probably the sprints, and then on top of her making sure that when I'm going home before I'm showering, I'm running an extra mile or 2, if not more. So that's really I love it. I love the work, but that's the killer,
It's a love-hate relationship. Yeah. I get that. You hate it while you're doing it, but you love it after you're done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to put her on blast.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. So with that being the best and the worst, I've always wanted to ask guys this too. So what's your favorite combo? So since you're a boxer, I've got my favorite combo. What's your favorite combo to run? What's your favorite combo that when you landed on somebody, you're like, yeah, I got you good?
My favorite combo. See, that's the thing. I mean, what I throw the most is, maybe a, something crazy like that or something. You know what I mean? So, and if it just lands, it just lands.
I keep them guessing.
No, jab lead hook, right hand. Jab lead hook, right hand. That's probably my bread and butter all day. It always lands. It's always there. You could take the lead hook to the body, or you could take the lead hook to the head. You could take the right hand to the body, or you could take the right hand to the head, to the dome. So
that's my favorite as well. I love that combo because there's so much you can do off of it.
There's so many angles off of that combo. You could angle out, you could pivot in the middle of throwing your hook to land your right hand. You ain't got to pivot off of it. You can step back off the hook and come back in if he's trying to counter or something, and counter off of his counter with the right hand. So it's really
exactly. That's why I like it.
Completely unrelated question. Ricky, do you have any interest in ever doing color commentary for a boxing show? Because I feel like I might have an idea here. Zach.
Wait, you said color commentary?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the guy who does everything that you just did, and actually the fighter that sits next to me and says all of the smart stuff, so I can just say that sounds great, Ricky, and then I read the ads in between.
Okay, I'd love to do that. Set me up sometime.
Let's
Set
go.
Me up sometime.
We're doing job interviews.
That's on a bucket list of mine. That's on a bucket list of mine to do.
We can make that happen.
We know a guy.
We know a guy. We know a guy who knows a guy who also knows a guy.
Yeah, it's this guy right here.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Shoot. Yes. So, kind of going into this a little bit more. So, what's kind of your, I don't want to say prediction, but what's your thoughts going into this, like of how you're going to settle this in? So you got, your 3 rounds. What's your game plan? You don't have to be too in depth for us, but kind of what's your basic game plan that you're trying to run?
Right. Well, every fighter, every spectacular, you ask anybody, they want a knockout or something like that. That's everybody, whatever. But really, if I'm just being honest, going their first fight, going in there, landing my shots clean, putting my game plan out there and not just going out there to fight. I want to go out there and I want to look like a boxer. I don't want to go out there and look like I'm in a fight, So put my game plan to work and making it work, and seeing the consequences from seeing the improvement from that, and just getting the job done out there. Just get my hand raised. That's it. Get my hand raised. When I'm in there, if I see a shot, I see an opening, it's mine. I'm gonna take it. But other than that, just get my hand raised.
Okay. All right. So then next, what's next for you after this? Exactly. Like, I know you're going to want to take fights. You're going to want to do that. But, having a nice game plan for your future is always nice to have that as well. So how do you see yourself in the next, let's just say 2 years? So what's kind of your game plan for the next 2 years of your boxing career? Where would you like to be? Obviously undefeated. Get that. But where would you like to be?
Next 2 years, I like to be at least within the next 2 years. I like to have at least 7 to maybe 11 or 12 fights. I want to be ranked by the WBO, WBA, WBC. That's where I want. That's who I want. That's where I want to be ranked at. That's where I want to fight at. So in 2 years, that's our goal. That's my goal, is to get them ranked by the WBA, by the WBO, and by the WBC.
And in the meantime, it's next man up, like you said, right? When coach calls, what state we going to? Where are we going?
To work. We go to work. Like Doc Holliday said, he said, "I got 2 guns, one for both of you."
Hey, there we go, dude. And making some Doc Holliday references. All right, Zach, you get Ricky on commentary. It's gonna be hard to get him away.
I'd be wait for Saturday night. That was a little hint for Saturday night on my walkout.
Oh, nice,
yeah,
great.
I like to shout out my cousin, one of my best friends, Johnny Stanley. He lives in Indian Lake, Ohio. He made my walkout song. He cut it. He rapped over it. Beats, everything. So I want to give a big shout out to him.
Oh, that is exciting, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, You guys are making a run for potentially at least the best walkouts so far. It sounds like you guys be ready. I can't wait to see that one
Say
live.
when. Say when.
When? Oh, sorry.
We're over the phone screen now. We're over the screen now, Zach.
See, Zach really trying to get back into the game.
Yeah, see there, that's Wolfman over there. Wolfman trying to attack.
Yeah, let's start with sparring first. Let's just start with that. So, I want to say thank you for joining us. I'm excited to watch you fight next Saturday, June 26th, at the Cube, Findlay, Ohio. If you don't have your tickets, get a hold of Ricky. I'm sure he's probably had some tickets he'd love to sell you.
Be there.
And if you can't make it, you can always watch it live on pay-per-view at carnagemediappv.com. So go out there, check it out there. You can also see all our upcoming shows we got coming too. So Ricky, do you have any shout outs to anyone? I know you shout out a couple people already, so want to let you keep on going with any sponsors, shout outs.
I just want to shout out my coach, my team, my wife, my brother, my sister, family, mom and dad, cousins, everybody who supports me, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, everybody. So all love. And if you don't support me, screw you. You're going to see next Saturday.
They win.
Say when. Tell them, Zach.
All right, Ricky. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next Saturday.
Hey, I'll see y'all next Saturday.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ricky. Man, that was a great interview. I am serious, by the way. I look forward to having him on the commentary desk, the way he's going to break down some fights. This is going to be a good one, Zach. You've got Mike on the one hand, like you said, a little more seasoned, definitely a warrior. Like, he's not going to shy away from anything, but we've had the pleasure of calling some of Ricky's amateur boxing stuff throughout the years, and he's really good, man. He's got great footwork. He talked about the combos, talk about changing eye levels. Like, he really puts it all together well. And I'm very excited to see what these two bring to the ring. Not to mention that they each have their own custom walkout music, personalized.
Yeah.
Like, come on, boys. They are doing some good work to get ready for this show, man. I love it. And thank all of you who have chimed in, the viewers that are still here that came out for Ricky. We really appreciate you guys, too.
Yes, we do.
Thank you for sharing your love for him. I'm sure that makes the interview a little more fun on their end to see you guys in here. So we appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe if you want to catch future fights. You know, we'll get Ricky back on as often as we can. But Zach, do we have other fights for July 26th that we're talking about, or I'm not sure? You know what I've got on the docket, so don't let me get ahead of myself.
No. We'll probably talk more about that next week during the next interview. So we'll talk a little bit more because then we'll know exactly what's going on. But what I can say is not only is this a pro boxing card, it has now been upgraded to an amateur kickboxing, a pro boxing event. So from what I can tell, I think we've got about 5 pro boxing, and then I don't know exactly how many kickboxing there's going to be, but I think there's going to be like 6, maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there. Still, if you like kickboxing, if you like boxing, we got the show for you next Saturday, July 26th, right here, Carnage Media, ppv.com. You go check that out. You can go and buy that pay-per-view now if you want, or you can buy it right beforehand. Either way, you'll be able to watch it. But without further ado, let's get to everyone's favorite segment, the Wrestling Minute.
Oh, that is going to be a long Wrestling Minute, gang. So hope you're ready to
We're
go.
Zack Snydering this. We're slow-moing it.
Yeah. might just call this one the wrestling moment. I think maybe that better encapsulates what we're doing. It works out. We've got a little extra time here on the back end of the show, but for those of you who don't know, there was like 18 hours of wrestling programming over the weekend, and I am not able to cover it all right now, nor would I do that. I wouldn't put you guys through a wrestling hour on the back end of this. I'll do that on my own time, and I'll post it later to this channel. So don't worry.
They'll eat it up.
For those of you that are here for it. But I wanted to talk mainly with you, Zach, about Saturday night's main event. We talked about this a couple weeks ago before it happened. Goldberg taking on the current world heavyweight champion Gunther in a championship match. You can hear our thoughts about that. Check out the clips on the channel. But we got it. That's what we got. Goldberg at home in Atlanta taking on the champ. And, well, spoiler alert. Okay, Goldberg did, in fact, lose. What? Yeah. So, admittedly, a better match than I thought they would have been able to put together, and I'll elaborate on that here in a second. But the part that I really want to start with, Zach, that again we get to give a different lens to all of this because we do the production of these type of things. We understand some of the difficulties, not the national cable TV difficulty, though. Zach, because at the end of what would be a Hall of Famer's final match, he got cut off about 15 seconds into his farewell speech. He's got his whole family in the ring with him. He's got the microphone in his hand, and
what a botched job that is.
Cut to a rerun of 30 Rock. I have no idea what plays on NBC these days, but I can imagine it was probably, was it Saturday Night Live? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is how do you get to a point in a night where earlier in the night, Seth Rollins actually had an injury. So they had to end a match early. So one would think that they actually would have had a little more time to work with. But I think the commercial breaks kind of just jacked this whole thing up. And the unfortunate part of it is Goldberg is very upset about it. He was talking with Ariel Helwani. I haven't watched the whole thing, but the clip that I saw, he essentially felt like, The Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve Austin would not be getting that treatment. So what are your thoughts? This is a name that even you probably remember, a legend for this sport, and he did not get his farewell unless you go to the YouTube channel.
Honestly, I think it's absurd. Like, I really do, like, especially for them. Like, with a company that big and a name that they've got, I think it's a little absurd. Now, I get it. Mishaps happen. Things like that happen. I do. But not at that. You're supposed to be the professionals. You're supposed to be the tier that people are striving for, and that's what you're putting out. That's what you're giving us. You're gonna if this continues, you're gonna start losing fans. People are gonna quit watching it. I know you're like, oh well, you just cut off a little bit of a speech. It's like, yeah, but isn't that what people are there for? Is for the storylines and everything that goes with it. They're not there just to watch the action.
Yeah, I think everyone there. Maybe that's too broad of a brush, but the majority of people, I feel very confident in saying, would have said, I would have rather seen his farewell speech than a few more minutes of him, doing a rest hold or whatever. Like, the match was much longer than anyone expected it to be, because even when Goldberg was in his 30s, he wasn't doing long matches. That was kind of the whole point, which, not to get too far into it, was sort of my issue with it before it happened. When we talked about this last time, was like, this is not the kind of thing that this guy does. When you're doing a farewell tour, like, the Rolling Stones don't go out and perform a new album. Like, they go out and they play the hits because that's what the people buying those tickets want to see. And so you have the people there were there for Goldberg. They don't really care as much about Gunther. He's pretty well protected. So I would have had him fighting someone else anyway. I don't think a retirement match has any need to have a title match added to it. But yeah, I think that we're on two fronts. Your point works, Zach, because you're hurting the true fans, but you're also, the whole reason you are doing this Saturday night's main event, which is it's marketed as if it's like a pay-per-view, and it's not. It's a It's a bona fide, like it's a souped up house show. And there's nothing wrong with the house show, but
Mhm.
like that's what it is. It's not even an episode of Raw. It's like just let's get cool matchups together with the intent being to draw in casual fans. It's on NBC. It's on a much larger audience than even Netflix would have, even within the Netflix base. Like how many people are actually watching Raw every Monday? It's got a much bigger audience than SmackDown. And like that was so the casual fans that you're trying to bring in by bringing back a name from 20 years ago, like they are there specifically for Goldberg. They wanted to see a spear, a jackhammer, and they probably wanted to hear Goldberg say farewell in Atlanta, Georgia. And so, yeah, for all those reasons, I think you're right. It's just how do you get there? And to be fair, AEW took a ton of heat when they were having these issues almost every single Wednesday. Like, how do you not communicate an overrun? And I think what may have happened here is Saturday Night Live maybe doesn't allow you to have much of an overrun because of the way that show is done. But still, start at 10 minutes early then.
Right.
So I feel really bad for the guy. He's been one of the most maligned superstars of all time. Even though he's a Hall of Famer, he's got the fame, the fortune, all the cars. Everyone says he's a shit wrestler. Bret Hart blames him for his career being over. In a match in Saudi where the Undertaker fucked everything up, Goldberg got blamed for that too. Like if anything bad happens when he's there, it's just assumed, oh, well, Goldberg's the shits, so it's his fault. And I feel bad for the dude because like he just kind of did what he was taught. Maybe he could have learned a few more tricks of the trade being in the show as long as he was, but they asked him to go on 100-something win streak, just doing a tackle and one move, and he got really good at that. He got over it. People loved it. And then you go and ask him to do a bunch of other shit, and that doesn't work. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, this guy sucks. Like, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem fair all the time. I think he has been a pretty gracious dude. Seems to be good with the fans, and you can't be in that business without having a little bit of an ego. So sure, he's had some weird quotes, but man, dude, I kind of agree with him when he says, at first I thought he was just like, oh, Goldberg's he's a little butt hurt. But the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, you know what? They wouldn't do the Undertaker like this. They just fucking wouldn't. They would not. It would have made sure it wouldn't have been done.
I feel like it's a slap in the face almost, it just is. I feel it is because and then that's going to hurt other people too, because how many other of your stars are going to want to come back and do something like that now? They're like, oh, I might get cut.
Yeah, just go to the pay-per-view at this point. I think that's going to be what happens. You're not going to see any more of these dudes coming out for a Saturday night house show.
Yep.
But, money talks. So, I won't get into Evolution or the AEW pay-per-view. Be on the lookout. If you're still here hanging out with us talking wrestling and you're interested in that, subscribe because I will be putting out individual videos. So it'll be in our Wrestling Minute playlist. But Evolution, I thought was a very solid pay-per-view. If anything, I just wish they would commit to it. So Zach, the gimmick was it's an all ladies pay-per-view. And so it felt kind of like they didn't trust it enough because you had Friday night SmackDown, you had Saturday night's main event, then you have the ladies pay-per-view on Sunday, then you have Raw on Monday, and it's kind of like, well, you guys really didn't think this would do well on its own, did you? So you just here's a bunch of other shit, dude. Here's everything we got. You can have it all, pal. But I thought they performed really well, and if anything, what they were robbed of was a serious buildup. All this stuff was kind of thrown together last minute. Admittedly, an injury ruined the one storyline they had been trying to build up towards.
Of course.
But a lot of this was just people showing up in the ring 2 weeks before. I want to fight the best, so I want to fight you. And it's just like, yeah, you're the story show. Like, that's what they do over at AEW, where they're like, we're about doing cool matches, not necessarily story invested. WWE is Days of Our Lives with 4 wrestling matches mixed in, and you don't tell any stories for the all lady pay-per-view, and then they go fucking in the main event, at least blow the fucking roof off the place. And the thoughts are that, oh yeah, they probably won't do this. It took them 7 years to do a second one. How long will it take for they get a next one? So I think the ladies kind of got robbed here. But they're going to get a great SummerSlam match out of it. So my final thought for you, Zach.
Yes.
Roman Reigns returned on Monday as a new gimmick. He's like the Phoenix, this guy. The new name for him on his shirt is OTC1, right? Like one kind of, signaling I'm the first, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what OTC means? Do you know what those initials mean?
No clue.
It stands for Original Tribal Chief. So what we have now is Original Tribal Chief 1, brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department.
Okay.
It's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the classic, like, corporate just fucking something up that's good. Like, you don't touch it because you're not creative. You stay, leave it alone. You don't need to find a new t-shirt to sell. You could have just kept selling his current merch. You don't need to make new merch every time a dude comes back after a 3-month injury. Like, you can sell the same t-shirt.
Do you think this is corporate, or do you think this was him?
I can't imagine this being him.
I hope not, but I'm just saying, like, I want to make some more money, so let's put out another t-shirt. Heck, I don't know.
Oh, dude, he works 4 days a year at this point. I feel like he's good, dude. He's in a Street Fighter movie or something. He's good. I can't imagine him being like, hey, boss, I need more. I'm not getting enough merch revenue. Like, I can't imagine. This just screams corporate wanted to find a way to add sales to a quarterly report. It's like, we got a new nickname.
Some more money out of that. Yeah.
We got a new nickname for you. So, you know what? I lied. There's one other thing I wanted to ask you. What are your thoughts about the artist known as Jelly Roll having a match at SummerSlam this year? That is official.
It is?
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like I feel like a lot of these artists and things are trying to be like Snoop Dogg now, and they're just trying to do weird stuff all the time. All of them. I mean, I'm not saying like, a lot of people do WWE stuff, but I feel like this is Jelly Roll's start of his doing weird stuff campaign.
Yeah, it's marketing again. It's hey, which I agree with you on the on Jelly Roll's like reason for doing it. Definitely doing wrestling stuff is a side quest for a lot of rich people. I get it. It would certainly be one for me. All right. One way or another, I will be on more wrestling shows. You can bank on that. Check out BPW on our channel, by the way.
Great show.
Yeah, it's a great show. Very good. We never run short on time. They got a little better production value than we do on Raw, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, I think as far as the company goes, though, this is just we've booked a 2-night SummerSlam in New Jersey of all places. So let's get some famous musicians in the mix. He will be tag teaming with Randy Orton to take on Logan Paul, and somehow poor Drew McIntyre got dragged into all this.
I hope both of them flatten him.
Dude, that's what I mean. I've made this joke before, but that's one of those situations where you just hope Bane is underneath the stadium with a detonator. I've given wrestling back to you, the people.
Well. Speaking of the Paul brothers, did you hear about Jake's last pay-per-view sales?
What was it, like 12?
36.
Oof.
Clayton, I can't remember, but Clayton messaged me, goes, hey, make sure you mention this. I think I forgot last week. I was like, I'll make sure to do it next week. I'll make sure to mention it. But good old Jake Paul had 36 pay-per-view buys.
Maybe he got ranked now, I think. I hear.
Did he buy that? How much did he have to pay for it?
I don't know. I think he's fought a lot of legitimate fighters.
Yeah, retired ones.
That just not in their known practice, and about 20 years after they should be fighting. On average, Mike kind of skewed the average, but still ain't good.
But that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us, and make sure to check out all of our past videos. We post videos every single day, so go and check that out on our YouTube channel right here, Carnage Media PPV. Also, go and check out all of our upcoming shows we've got. We've got this Friday, we've got a charity event of grappling and striking, and you can have all kinds of people in that. So go and check that out. That'll be at 8 o'clock Friday night. And then next week, we were just interviewed the co-main event fights. That's going to be July 26th. And you can catch that at all of these at carnagemediappv.com. Links are all right there, so you can watch it. And then don't forget, August 23rd, we have Carnage Fight Series 3 in Findlay, Ohio. Same place that we're going to be for these Findlay Fight Nights, I believe is what it's called. So check us out there. Come and hang out. Kev, where can they find you, buddy?
Most importantly, right here. All right. Like I mentioned, Benchmark Pro Wrestling. Would love it if you guys check that out. They also have a big event coming up at the end of July, which hopefully we will have the footage for you. So go check that out. I also live stream weekly over on the Dweeb channel. So if you like to talk about movies, comics, TV shows, all that good stuff, we are currently in our Star Wars program, which takes place in about 30 minutes, reviewing all of the original 9 Star Wars movies. We're currently in the OT, so we had a lot of fun. It's more of a retrospective, doing a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff more than is reviewing a movie that's been out for 40 years, but it is a ton of fun. Other than that, though, yeah, just right here. Check out the website, carnagemediappv.com. Clayton wrote a great article from his experience over in Europe at an Octagon event. So he'll be doing more of that, the Cage Side Chronicles over on our website. And we'll continue to do some card previews and fighter interviews over there as well. So it's more than just your purchasing link for the pay-per-view. So don't forget about us over on carnagemediappv.com. But other than that, I can't ask you guys for anything else. All right. No. I know I'm the pitch man, but you guys have been great. We appreciate all the time you spent with us tonight and supporting these fighters. And I cannot wait to talk you through all of the action next Saturday, July 26th in our hometown, baby. We ain't the only ones coming home. That's right. We'll try to bring 3 fans as well, but you guys have been great. We thank you. And it's my job actually to end the stream, isn't it? Yeah. I usually have a Wade for this.
Well, normally.